Good evening, everybody. Hopefully we've hit the right buttons this evening and we are live and we are with you on, I believe, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Looking for a nod from the corner. Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Tonight, Wednesday, Woodware. Woodware Wednesday. We should have thought of that. Tonight, we are launching our sneaky peeking, one should say, a brand new Woodware collection for you, which is going to be going live on Hobbymaker on Monday, the 20th of October, with Françoise, who will be launching it at 3 p.m. and then she'll be back with you at 8 p.m. to give you lots and lots of inspiration. This evening we're going to take a quick run through looking at the collection, and we're going to take a little look through some of the DT samples for this collection to hopefully give you a bit of inspiration. I think you're truly in for a treat. It's a beautiful collection. It's very cleverly designed, as you would expect, and it is full of fun and quirkiness. Again, what we would completely come to expect from Woodware and of course from Françoise. So if you are with us this evening, please do let us know that you can hear us and you can see us, because it would be lovely to know that you are here. I have a scary, nervous feeling that Françoise might even join us herself, so you know, no pressure there. Honestly, it's a bit nerve-wracking. I'm not used to having to present other people's goodies, and tonight's goodies are wow, so the pressure is on me. Now, some of you might not, and you might not have, so I said to Pete, do we think that there's anybody left in the world who doesn't know the Woodware story yet? And he was like, well, I don't think so. And I said, well, just in case, we'll cover it, was our decision. So actually, we haven't introduced you yet, have we? Should we say good evening to you? Oh, I think we should.
Do we?
Should we go over on hostage cam and say good evening to Peter? He is lurking in the wings, as always.
In Jackanory corner, evening all. How are we all doing? You all okay? A bit weird being a Wednesday, isn't it?
Why did you look so scared?
Well, under pressure.
Under pressure? What are we under pressure for?
Well,
Anything
I'm
in
the
particular?
shadow of a crafting genius, that's what it is.
Oh, who's that then? When do we find them?
Actually, Laura's gone home, hasn't she?
Exactly. Laura has been in today. She's been very busy bee. But no, she has gone, so we are good. Okay, so the story of Woodware, just in case anybody has kind of missed it, because we do, don't we? Life's busy and we don't always keep up with everything that's going on in the world. So as I'm sure many of you hopefully know by now, as Jamie Rogers Crafts that we purchased and took on the brand of Creative Expressions a little while back. I'm going to be vague with times and dates because I've got no idea, because life is a blur. And then at the same time,
don't ask me when.
We're not going to try and tackle dates. We did that on Monday. We got very confused in times and dates. We're going to avoid times and dates. We're going to say that we took on the Creative Expressions brand as our now parent umbrella brand. And as part of that transition, achievement, I don't know, sticking a popular sounding buzzword, we also took on and gave a new home to the wonderful Woodware brand. And we have huge plans for brand Woodware. We really do, actually. There's lots going on behind the scenes as we kind of plan for next year with what we'd like to do with Woodware and what Woodware actually means as a brand and what it's going to bring to you, because of certainly what we need and what we want is each of our brands to be strong and in their own spirit and under their own weight and under their own merit. And then, of course, have our kind of overarching name sit above them all, which hopefully kind of the seal of quality that you know that everything that's under that is going to be brilliant, because that's what it needs to be, nothing short of. So of course, when we announced our Woodware arrival, we announced our very first collection. Now I was trying to remember, actually I'd sent you next door to get some bits and bobs, and I was trying to remember what was in the collection 1 Christmas collection, which I'm going to show you in case you've not seen it. There was major to-dos, but I couldn't remember which bits was the to-dos. I know that the paper pads proved incredibly popular and we had to have these reprinted, and we had more of these coming in, and there was fun with that part of this collection. Yes. Stencils, I know they flew out the door, as stencils always do, and that always kind of is a bit of a bamboozlement for us to keep up with. But there were some of the stamps. Now, I can't remember which one was it, or which ones was it. I feel it was Mr. Snowman here in the middle. And was it the mouse or the penguin? I can't remember. Penguin.
Yeah.
I can remember that we had lots and lots and lots and lots of fun trying to find different stamps to fulfil all of the orders when this collection launched. And that's a really good thing and a lovely thing. And we're so grateful to all of you for your support. But if you haven't seen the collection that originally launched, then it did, as Françoise Stamps always do, there's such a love for her designs and such a care that you can see come through in everything she does. And especially when it comes to value for money and, of course, incredible designs, it goes without saying. But each set always tends to have some sentiments and then some pictures and then some beautiful backgrounds. So these have been out and are available for a little while now. Again, I'm going to be a bit vague on time because I think these come out the first week of September. So it gives you a little bit of a guide. And that is kind of our rough plan, and everything's always a bit of a rough plan here. But I believe our Woodware releases should be approximately every 6 weeks-ish, which is how these were sort of the first release. And now today we are sneaky peeking our brand new release. So if you did miss those are available and they will be out and about at your favourite stockists. And there is stock available here at HQ of these items. So I'm sure that you're going to be able to track them down and find them. But as always, if you get stuck, if you can't find them, let us know and we will give you a helping hand. The stockist list on the website is brilliant because it does tell you all of our stockists all around the world, and that is obviously a great place to kind of go and have a look. You might even find some stockists and people you didn't know about, which is something I always love, because who doesn't love to find a new crafty outlet to go and investigate and see what they've got. Every outlet carries something different, don't they? So even if it isn't our brand or our products, maybe you might find a new stockist of something that you didn't even know you needed. But let's be honest, once we found it, we need it, don't we? So that was original Christmas collection. Now today we launch our sneaky peek of our new collection. So shall we dive in and have a little look at that one? Have we said hello to people yet?
No.
I don't feel we have. We've been very antisocial.
No. And we have a special guest watching tonight.
Oh, do we? Don't say that. I'll be nervous.
Oh.
Who have we got?
And lovely Lucy's watching, as in Laura's daughter, Lucy.
Oh, that's a lovely
I think I'll give her a
guest.
little shout out tonight if she's there. So, evening, Lucy.
Shout out to Lucy.
Yeah.
Evening, Lucy.
Bless
Your
her.
mum was a nightmare today. Nothing but trouble. Wendy come in, they did nothing but yabber.
They were
Hours
yabbering.
we lost. Hours. But it was good hours. Good hours. We don't never mind a natter. Good evening, Sue. Good evening, Lynn. Good evening, Françoise. Lovely to have you here with us. Pressure's on, Pete.
Oh, I didn't know she... Oh, hello.
Behave. Good evening, May. Good evening, Kathleen. Good evening, Lou. Denise, Mandy, Tracy, Christine. Stampaholics Rewind. Lovely to have you here as well, Siobhan. Your samples are incredible. You're all incredible. But there is some lovely ones to share with you. Good evening, Diane, as well. We should stop meeting like this, people talk. Hi, oh, I know it's getting a bit of a reoccurrence, this, isn't it? I know, twice in 3 days, I'm sorry. Good evening, and that is our dear Laura. There's loads of them here, loads and loads. I feel I just see a gnome-related something pop up. There is no new gnomes this evening. I'm going to let you down on that one. There is no new gnomes. But I will tell you now, we have plans for gnomes. There will be gnomes. Not today, but gnomes are coming. Also, something else I wanted to kind of mention, and this is, again, something that you might not know. I have kind of gone on about it a little bit. But we are slowly but surely rebuilding the Woodware kind of collection, the back catalogue as such. And we brought in our sort of first 50-ish designs about a month ago, a few weeks ago. There is another 60 designs en route pretty soon. There's a long way to go. Françoise is here, she will tell you. When they were numbering the stamps originally at Woodware, she got to over 1,000 of just the A6 designs. That doesn't include all of the other shapes and sizes and designs. So when we talk about the Woodware back catalogue, and Françoise in particular, there is hundreds, thousands of designs that we can potentially bring back into the collection and make available for you once again. Now, there's no lies to this, it's just the truth, and I'm sure I shouldn't tell you this, but it's like everything. It does sadly go back to pennies in the pocket, and as soon as we can, we will keep reaching to rebuild as much of that catalogue for you as we possibly can, because we know what it's like. A product comes out, we blink, we miss it, or maybe there was a wedding stamp and there wasn't a wedding coming on in your family that month, that year, that time, and now there is, and you need that stamp, and you want that stamp because it's beautiful, it's a Françoise stamp. How would you not want it? So if we can, we will be bringing back as many as we can over the next little while, but it is something we're sort of chipping away at in stages. So I feel like I've teased you enough. Let's jump in and look at the new collection, shall we? There's a lot to get through this evening, and Pete told me I'm only allowed an hour. So I'm going to behave and I'm going to try and stick with it.
Baddie.
Well, if the cap fits. Okay, let's start off with stamps. There's lots of different bits to this collection, but let's start off with some stamps, shall we? Now, to me, these two are and that that we need. This is where it kind of starts. I'm going to try and give you the official names. Oh, this is an easy one. Even I could have remembered that one. This one's mushrooms. I could have done that, couldn't I? I could have guessed at that one. This one is your mushrooms set. Now, I love these. These are so quirky, these are so fun, they're so playful, and they can be done in just about any colours, in any styles that you could possibly imagine. And you are going to have so much fun with them. I love the way that Françoise has designed them in little clusters, but of course they could be built up, they could be masked off and used individually. I see embossing powders coming into these. I see these in lovely metallics and then painted in with iridescent paints. There is so many quirky ways you can take them. I have done a few samples. I haven't done many, but I've done a few samples I'll share with you at some point this evening. I've gone very vintage, very dark, very, very dark. You don't have to. I know that Françoise, when she shares her cards with you on Monday, because I haven't got them here, we have to leave that to her. She is the star. We want you to see her cards when she's ready to share them with you on Monday. But I know there's some very bright, colourful mushrooms coming from Françoise. And then when we look at Christine's and Siobhan's and Laura's, you're going to see all different colours and styles across the board. So this is a very fun set. And I know this is going to sound really odd, but I absolutely adore the little specimen stamp and the numbers. When you see what I've been doing with them and when we get to demoing, it's these that I've gone to time after time because they coordinate so beautifully with the numbers and the text and the styles found for in the mushrooms. This is an A5 stamp set. This one is $14.99. So it's gorgeous, isn't it? Okay, then moving on, let's have a little look at this one. This complements beautifully. This one is our leaves set. It's again an A5 stamp set, so huge array of designs on this one. And when we talk about A5, I know you know this, I know you're with me, I'm sure, but traditionally a lot of the stamp sets from Woodware have been A6, so you're literally getting double the amount on every sheet to an A6 stamp. I know it's kind of common sense, but sometimes I forget that, so I always like to think of what I forget and try and make it as much common sense as possible. Again, you're going to see in this one that Françoise Starr has carried on over brilliantly. The text found within the leaves really does give such dimension and such detail. We've also got the same watermarks, the same numbers, the same patterns, the same splatters being used throughout. I really like this kind of cherry blossom effect as well. That's a great one for making up backgrounds, but you've also got acorns in here. Again, you've got more numbers, you've got more little sentiments as well. So autumnal occurring in autumn, leaf, leaves, and then little bits of sort of fragmented text running through here too. So if you want to use these, I know Françoise always refers to these kind of stamps as little worker stamps. They're great for making up great backgrounds or adding in texture. Going back to this stamp set, these little dots, one of Françoise's sort of famous signatures as such, if you will, is adding in these little dots and textural pieces around her designs. So she's given you the freedom to do that way you want to, not necessarily just chose for you on the stamp. It gives you the ability to accentuate that and add more to it. So to me, these are your two main focal sets. They're the largest sets within this collection, but oh my goodness, it's not going to stop there. There is lots more to go through. So let's take these two off to one side and bring in. This one is our autumn borders. This one is our textured samples. Then we have got layered textures. And lastly, we've got autumn butterflies. Now, if we can see all of these in one go, I'll try and make them so you can. Let's see, can we get them all on one way? Maybe, just about-ish. So if we have a look at this one's gorgeous. So this is one stamp in one go, so one big plate, pretty much A6 in its entirety, with this beautiful kind of fragmented textured look to it. Again, you're going to see lots of patterns come through in here. You've got like notebook lines, you've got like bubble wrap texture, you've got numbers dotted throughout in the design, you've also got text as well, so more of a silhouette style stamp. So the colour you choose or the product you choose to stamp this one in is really going to win, and all of this open area is going to come through from the paper or the card that you've stamped onto, and that's a really fun way to make some cool textured backgrounds, very heavy in how they're going to kind of go on, and really sets the tone of what you're going to be able to build up on top of and create with. Again, I know when we get to samples you're going to see lots of beautiful things created with this one. Then we move on to this one. This one was our texture samples, and it is literally what it says it is. It is full of different textural pieces, different patterns, different pieces, different kind of rings and markings that again are going to go in and build up to make up your most beautiful backgrounds. And like here, we've got that kind of bubble wrap, this time as a positive instead of a negative. And that's really fun because it means that we can play with that throughout our designs. Maybe we're going to use them in different places as we run through the project, but it's all going to work together for us. Then our butterflies. How cute are our butterflies? And although they're autumnal butterflies, they of course have got a dragonfly on here as well, I believe. That's got to be a dragonfly, isn't it? I'm not being silly here around my long body.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
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 That's what I thought. Yeah, well, I had to think. I just counted it as that all the way through, and now I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking, am I being daft? That is often the case. So in our set here, we have got a lovely, I know, such a shabby chic, big focal style butterfly. Then we've got this more sort of pointed modern butterfly to me, and then in my world a dragonfly. You've got flutter, butterfly, the number 9, the number 3, a ladybug, little crosses, which as you can see again run throughout the collection and are going to be used in multiple places. And just like before, all of these pieces coming through on the butterflies and the dragonflies, matching in with what we've been seeing. So if you want to take this one, for instance, where we've got our words coming through, our numbers, our dots, our letters, it's all going to coordinate perfectly back to where we were with our mushrooms originally. So maybe we want to add some more depth, maybe we want to make this a bit prettier necessarily, add in a bit of glitter and a bit of sparkle, then maybe it's the butterflies that we're going to put above in the air above our mushrooms to kind of bring in that autumnal pretty effect. Then lastly, in our A6 sets of stamps, we have got the autumn borders. Now this is lovely, and this again, this to me is a must-have, and I know we're all going to look at these in different ways, but to me this one is lovely, because on here you have got that same cherry blossom style running across it to what we're receiving in the big leaf going through here. Isn't that gorgeous? Knowing now that that's going to coordinate with this part, spectacular. Then we have got our wording. So our wording here runs through and gives you that beautiful textured element that's going to match up to all of your autumnal feelings. It's got bonfire, autumn, leaf, bonfire, gold, acorns, woodland, russet, apples, harvest, fall, October, love, autumn berries, orange harvest and acorns, all going through here. Now this stamp again, when we get onto demo, is one of my favourites because it's so easy to pattern match up and build up to make backgrounds with. It's spectacular. Then we've still got your autumn border with your wording in it, dotted throughout, and of course you've got your leaf border too. So all coordinating throughout to make sure that every element is going to mix and match in every way possible. Now we're going to move on. So we've done our 2 biggies, we've done our 4 A6s. Let's have a look at these ones. These are very cute indeed, and I love the way we're doing these. These are the A7 stamp sets, and I'll give you some names, shall I? Old leaves, fungi, dried leaves, and autumn greetings. Why are you chuckling over there? Is it why I said fungi? Because I said fungi.
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 Fun guy.
He's a fun guy. He's a fun guy. We join him on a Wednesday evening. He talks about mushrooms. He's a fun guy.
Françoise does confirm it is a dragonfly.
Yeah, oh good. I just had this
All
awful
good.
fear then.
Yeah, all good. Thank you, Françoise.
Awful fear. So in the set here then, as you can see, we've got beautiful mushrooms once again. And again, these 3, much more silhouette in style. So they're going to match in again to that lovely backing plate. They're going to match in again to that really cool border. It just gives you a slightly different look to your stamping because we're kind of stamping the negative more than the positive as such, is how I get it. I'm not the biggest stamper, but that's kind of how I look at these things. Again, we've got beautiful wording detail coming through in these worker stamps. We've got little numbers, little sentiments, plus points, markings, corner elements. We've got the little spider, again, perfect for that autumn idea, isn't it? And that might be a little spider that we're going to hide coming in the leaves, or going to hide coming in the mushrooms. It can tell a story. It can kind of be a spot the spider aspect to your project. Then again, you've got the individual word of autumn, and you're going to see Françoise' signature coming through here with all of the numbers dotted throughout the leaves around each part of it. And you've got the little acorn. Then the sentiments, these are cute. I can smell autumn dancing in the breeze. Autumn is a second spring when every leaf is a flower. Autumn carries more gold in its pocket than all the other seasons. I really like that. I thought that was really cool. Really, really like that. Autumn birthdays are the best, and hello autumn. And then you've got a separate little leaf, a little micro leaf that is going to match in perfectly again with the ones that you're going to find in a bigger set, and of course the ones that you're going to find in that leafy border too, that kind of oak leaf look, which is great because it then ties everything together. So those are all of your stamps. So just to recap, 2A5, 4A6 and then 4A7. So lots and lots of choices with these. Your A7 ones recommended retail price, by the way, are $4.99. Your A6 ones are $8.99, and then the biggies we were chatting about, those ones are $14.99. Now, we couldn't leave you with just that little lot. Françoise had more creativity in her body. I feel she's got more in her little finger than I've got in the whole of my body, and there is no stopping that woman when she gets started. So let's bring this one in. This is her first of the 2 stencils. Now this one, because we can, and this is one of the joys, when we can, we will, because we can, we're bringing you the positives and the negatives of the stencil. So all of these pieces that come out when we're cutting them, if we can bring them to you, if we think they're going to be usable, like we're not going to give you the little dots up here, because let's be honest, that's just going to be a right pain, isn't it? You open the packet and they go everywhere. You are not going to say thank you to us at all, are you? But these big leaves, which as you can see are completely usable. These can not only be used as masks in their own right, being brought in and misted over, inked over, played around with in their own format. They can then be used in their negative format in the stencil or the mask at the same time, or in a different way. You might wish to colour and then lay back in and then ink over, or apply paste. Lots of different options in that sense. And both of them, don't forget, especially these individual ones, we can bring these out. We can lay these on our mat for our machine, add on a piece of card and a rubber mat, send it through, and we've created a beautiful debossed or embossed leafy background. Or maybe we're going to go for a border instead of a background, and we're going to set these out so that they kind of go off in any tangent that you would like them to be. And that to me is why we give you these, because it gives you more value for money than just the stencil on its own, and it gives you more strength in what you can do, more creativity and more options. So you're going to receive all of these off-cut pieces as such, essential pieces in my mind, within your set too, and it doesn't make your set any dearer. Your stencils are recommended retail price of £5.49. And that one is your first, and I'll tell you the name when I flip it over and have a little look. This one is Tattered Leaves. So Tattered Leaves is your first stencil. Your second stencil, I love this. Me and Laura have been chatting lots about this one. She loves this one too. This one is Roots. And to me, it gives me hedgerow maze looks. I keep trying to find my way out. I'm like Peter, trapped in the corner, trying to find my way out of hostage maze. But it doesn't have to be a maze, it is actually intended to be roots, but it gives that mazy vibe, and that again is a great way to kind of dress up and add in and use over the backgrounds, over the tops of some of these beautiful stamps. Now this one again, and you're going to get to see this if I ever stop waffling and we get playing, that works a treat when we use it over the top of a stamped image, whether we choose to emboss it or ink over it, and we might do both this evening if we get chance. So both of your stencils are $4.99. Now, $5.49. Sorry, I can tell you why. Yeah. Have I done that multiple times, or did I dream it? I've got a big post-it on paper here telling me $4.99. Oh, that's A7. I've gone completely rogue, Pete. That's the post-it off of the stamps.
Oh, it's all going down.
It is. Now. I was so organised. Post-it and everything, and now it's gone terribly wrong. Let's find.
Diane says that they'd be great for jelly plate printing.
Oh, You just stop it over there.
Stop it.
Just stop it. Diane, you can't, well, it's not your fault. It's Peter. Just stop it. But yes, it would be good for a jelly plate. If only we knew a company that sold us some jelly plates.
Only we knew
eh?
somewhere that might be getting some jelly plate.
Might, maybe one day maybe, could do, maybe, we'll see.
My dear Tracy would say, just saying.
Just saying. Just saying.
Kill me.
You could have delivered that comment in such an unhinted way.
Could I?
We'll have to work on it and see. Okay, so now we move on to our paper pads. This is our Fallen Leaves paper pad. This again is spectacular. I have a feeling that you may need more than one of these. This is a need it to sniff it, stroke it, keep it, hold it paper pad. It is beautiful. And we don't always have that with every paper pad, but oh my goodness, is this rich. And again, working perfectly in conjunction with all of the items that you are seeing throughout your collection there. It is stunning, isn't it? And as you can see, and I'll tell you the official numbers because I've forgot them already, you're going to get 24 double-sided pages, 6 designs, 4 of each. So we're already heading back through them. But I like to show you how you will genuinely be getting 4 of each. They are double-sided, so maybe you want to favour the back of them, maybe you want to stamp on these, maybe you want to die cut out of the more leaf side and use this as your mats and your layers. You know, whatever way round you want to work with these, maybe you're going to bring in 2 or 3 pieces and really build up a bit of a collage across your colours. It is going to work for you. Everything tonally matches beautifully, as they always do with Françoise pads. Let's see. This is the only problem with a pad and me only having 2 hands. Let's see if we can show it to you in this sense, just for a second. And I know I'm not showing you all of it, but if you have a little look at that, seeing how just those leaves alone, doesn't that work beautifully? You can see how that's going to colour match all throughout just by looking at those 3 pages on their own. And then if we try and show you the reverse of them as well at the same time, look at that side. All matching beautifully, all working together. So huge amount of potential with a pad like this. So much that can be worked with on top of it, throughout it, created with it. It's incredible. $10.99 is the recommended retail price. It's 8x8, it's 140 GSM. And once again, 24 double-sided pages, 6 designs, 4 sheets of each. Now that completes all of the new woodware. Now, are you as in love as I am? Let us know in the comments. Are you looking at this thinking, oh my goodness, that is just what I've been after. I have got mushrooms, I have got leaves, I have got that kind of difficult topic now covered completely in this set. Between the stencils, the stamps and the papers, there's a lot of fun here. Now, don't forget, we brought out the autumn collection from Creative Expressions last month before, sometime recently, not that long ago. Now, in that collection, there were several pieces and characters and elements that would work beautifully with this collection too. So if you are somebody who got our lovely hedgehog who was under the leaf, isn't he gorgeous? We should have brought him round so we could show him them just in case you haven't seen him. But if you've got him in your collection, you need this little lot to match in with that one too, don't you? Or in my mind you do, because it's going to work so harmoniously together. It really builds on that collection perfectly. Now, something else I did want to share with you before we move on to another little new bit. There is some more new, but that is all of our woodware new, but there is a bit more new. Talk about teas, eh? Is we mentioned a couple of times about mats and layers, didn't we? We said how this would be good cut into your mats and layers, that would be good cut into your mats and layers. Well, there is a little cheeky bargain die of the show coming up on Hobbymaker that you might like to bear in mind if you are tuning into the shows on Monday. That is this set here. This is the clipped corner rectangles. There are 8 dies in this set, and I'm going to show you the post-it so I don't get it wrong. It should be $27.99, but the offer price is going to be $19.99, which we worked out earlier, being the Carol Vordermans that we aspire to be, it was about a 30% discount, didn't we?
Nearly 30%.
Is that about right? Nearly 30%. So it's a huge saving on a very big bundle of dies. Now, I have mine all in a little packet here. But if we go into these, you will be able to see that your 8 dies go right the way up to quite a large size and then right the way down here. It's quite a dinky one. giving you lots of opportunity to cut into frames, cut into mats, cut into layers, to actually create some really fun ways as well of using these together, and maybe multi-cutting into the backgrounds, creating little windows and then putting in your leaves, your mushrooms, your scenes, or actually playing around with them in different formats like so to create different kind of backgrounds too. Now the largest die set in this one is 15.3 by 18.4, and that's centimetres, and the smallest is 13.9 by 6.9. So keep an eye on Hobby Maker on Monday, when Françoise will be live with you at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m, because this is one of the featured items that you will be seeing. We will of course be using this in our demos shortly as well to give you a bit more inspiration with it. But if it isn't a set you already have in your stash, it is certainly a fun one to be able to play with, and does work very nicely with this collection. So when we've been talking about Woodware and different bits, and especially chatting with Françoise, I have kind of named her my Queen of A6, and she is my Queen of A6. Everything she does, or not everything, but 99% of what she creates and designs for us works brilliant in an A6 cards. And when the opportunity came up to add a new DT member to our incredible team, Christine Smith appeared, and we could never say no to our dear Christine. As somebody who was on the original Creative Expressions team, and somebody whose work I have admired for many, many moons, approached us and said, can I be on your DT please? It was a given of a yes. It had to be a yes. And I'm going to label her our princess of A6, I feel. Because we've got the queen of A6, so if it wasn't for our dear Françoise, then I feel Christine would be the queen. But I think we have given that title away already, so we're going to have to kill our princess. This is the reason why. Look at all of this beautiful A6 inspiration I'm about to share with you. All created with this collection, and this I love because I love big cards. I can't pretend. I do. I love making 8x8 cards and 10x7 cards and you know, ridiculous huge cards, as lots of us do. But actually, when you strip it back, if you can make a collection look incredible on an A6, to me, very small little footprint, and you can show that to all of its beauty, and you can not just do that once, not just do that twice, not just do it 3 times, but multiple times, that's a really good sign of a collection in my mind, because it shows how many ways I can take it off and how I can work with it. And even if I do stick on this small footprint, the different ways in which I'm going to be able to play with this. But actually, and if you're somebody that doesn't do small cards, maybe you do prefer larger cards, maybe you do like 8x8 cards, you can start looking at these and thinking, well, okay, that's what Christine's done on an A6, but I'm going to take these same ideas and I'm going to turn these much bigger. Now, I haven't overly, genuinely, been through these much, but I can already tell you that these two, when I get onto my cards in a little while, I've done 8x8-ish versions of these. And that's great because it's showing us straight away how we can take them from the A6 right the way through up into 8x8s, bigger or smaller. Now, I don't just want to flick for all of these because we're going to kind of skim through them too quickly without talking about them. But I do want to give you a bit of an overview. So I'm going to lay them all down slowly. And then as we pick them up, we'll have a little bit more of a chat about what's been used on each one, because they're just so pretty and beautiful and delicate and lovely. And I always forget this, so I'm going to start now. I just want to say a huge thank you to our DT because of the amount of work they put in to sharing such incredible inspiration with us is nothing short of miraculous. Now, whether that's a DT member who's with us this evening who's created samples for tonight, or just one of our team who kind of helps out with the Jamie Rogers crafts or helps out with the Creative Expressions products, all of you are amazing. We couldn't do it without you. Genuinely, you're a joy to have with us, we couldn't say thank you enough, could we really, Pete?
No, definitely. Very talented bunch.
They are, aren't they? So if we give you a little flick through these, I have just remembered the other product I haven't shared with you yet. There is another product I haven't shared. And I forgot, I've got carried away, I've shot off to showing you samples. But we will just do a little flick through these and show you some of the beautiful layers to which Christine has created, and I can see that depth coming in there beautifully. The way she's cut out and layered those mushrooms looks really, really cool. And as you can see, and you're going to see this featuring quite a lot of these beautiful Noble Collection clipped corner rectangles have really been a great carrier for all of the mats and layers, or a great tool to help out with those. Now on this one we can see some of the wording coming in. We've got the borders, and again we've got the big mushrooms coming in. We've also got the papers being used. You're going to get to see lots of the papers in Christine's creations. This one's lovely as well. We've got the papers coming in here. We've got the butterflies. We've also got that lovely roots stencil being used over the top of the papers. I'm trying to hold that to one side so you can see that sparkle coming through. It's subtle, but isn't that pretty? The way that's been overlaid over the top of the papers. And this is why we leave our papers as uncoated papers, because it means that we can build up on top of them. Now the leaves coming in here, isn't that beautiful, the way that Christine has taken the leaves and kind of stamped them off to make this big focal point instead, adding in the acorns to it. I should imagine on a circular stamp press, but that looks so lovely. Again, when we bring this one in, now this stamp in the background, I don't know how well you're going to spot that, but that one is that brilliant sort of fragmented background. I'm trying to remember the official name. It might even be fragmented background, or I might have just dreamt that. Layered textures. I was nowhere near. Layered textures. Where did fragmented background come from? I don't know, but that one being used in the background to create that beautiful look. And then this one's gorgeous. Look at all of these colours. So this one's going to be using all of those little sample pieces, weren't they? This one, let's have a little look at that one, is texture samples. And you can see that Christine's brought in several of the elements from in that set to make up that really cool background. And this is what I love about a set like this. It isn't just stopping with one element, it's building that up to wherever you wish to have it. Another one here with this beautiful mushroom being brought in, and actually kind of a Christmassy vibe going on. It looks like to use some of our snow sprinkles over the top of the mushroom to give a snowy landing look to it. Another beautiful one here, bringing in some of the leaves, and I'm going to guess the stencils have come into play here too. That looks really, really pretty. These butterflies and dragonflies coming in to be created here, I'm going to guess with our enchanted sprinkles too. This one's a fun one, using the silhouette mushrooms in with the main focal point mushrooms, and then stamping out again using a circular press to make that cool background. This one's a really cool one. That's kind of like a little hippie mushroom one, isn't it? I love that. Feels like it just needs a camper van with it. Very Woodstock. And then we've got some beautiful leaves again stamped in a circle and created again in autumnal fields. And these have been stamped over the papers in the paper palette. I said they're stamped in a circle. I think they've been cut out feeling these. I think they've been cut and layered into that circle, which is even more impressive and a great way to show stamping over the papers and cutting them out. This one again, this has got one of my favourite stamps, that lovely border stamp with all the wording being used over it, and then the stencils to add on the leaves over the top of that. Another one here, and this one, oh, this is giving you a bit of a hint. Can you see that? The lighting in here might not help too much actually, because it makes it a little bit hard to see. But there is a lovely shimmer to that card. We'll come back to that in a second. And then we've got another one here. Oh, this is another one of my faves, isn't it? I told you this. I love that kind of cherry blossom style leaf. And again, brought in with the butterfly over the top. Very, very cute. And then another one here using the stencil and then some of the stamps over the top of the stenciled element. Very, very cool. So huge thank you to Christine for those creations. Isn't that just a lovely little set? And again, and I know we often talk about this, but if you are making to sell or making to give, what a lovely box set. If you put those with matching envelopes in a little box, I think there was 16 here by memory, but that little set there with some envelopes in a matching box, or maybe a gift box, or maybe wrapped with some cord round it, and you pop that on your stall as a pack to sell for somebody to be able to hand these out all throughout the season or all throughout the year, I have a feeling that would really set you apart from a lot of what the other stalls are doing, because that's kind of like a bulk value pack, all themed, all coordinating, and you could so easily be batch making a lot of these, you know, like that background with the butterflies on, for instance. You could quite easily, and I don't know if Christine did this, she may even have done it this way, you could stamp that much bigger and then cut 2 or 3 backgrounds out of one sheet and get sort of more value for money, more batch making out of it as you're going if you wanted. So, okay, I forgot something, didn't I? Let's bring in what I forgot, because I'm terrible, honestly. The mind has got. This, of course, is all about the wonderful world of woodware, but we have kind of gate crashed it with Jamie Rogers Crafts this evening to bring you 6 brand new colours of our incredible mica mists. Now, again, when these launched a little while ago, oh my goodness, were these popular. I don't know what's been going on around here at the moment. It has been bonkers, 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 brilliantly busy recently. And everything we seem to be bringing out is running out of the door quicker than we can possibly catch it, hold it down and count it even. And these again were one of those products, and we had to make quite a few phone calls, and we won't go into it too much, but kind of beg, steal and borrow to get our order, our top-up order here as quick as we possibly could to fulfill demand. You never know if the next 6 are going to do as well as the first 6. It's impossible to tell. But I have a feeling these ones may prove rather popular too, because these are your colours and they are very much, as you can see, set up for your autumnal feels. We have got in here our spring pearl, so ahead to spring as well as here for autumn. This is our beautiful spring green. Now, again, I'm sorry if you don't see these too brilliantly. The lighting is never easy with mica. We light the studios up so they're as bright as can be, and then kind of dim the sparkle and dim the shine and glitters and micas, I always feel. But it might be my screen and it might be coming across with more pearlescence than I can imagine. But oh my goodness, will you fall in love with these if you haven't seen them, if you haven't used them. Maybe you've got the original 6 and you want to drop in the comments and tell us just how shiny these are, so that people who don't know of them may be able to see it or sort of believe it. It's not just us, because these are so shimmery and beautiful. That's our first one. That one was Spring Pearl. And then we're going to move on and we're going to look at Sunset Pearl. So our beautiful soft red, really. This one, oh, this is, oh. Again, when we go to our autumnal feels, this is going to work beautiful. And something I love with these, they are quite pale. So you can choose to build them up if you wish to, or you can leave them quite subtle. A lot of misters tend to go on very heavy, and there's not really a way you can dilute them down once you've misted them. So we've purposely made ours so you build them. And if you want to add to them, you can intensify them. But if you want to keep them quite subtle, you absolutely can do. Then we've got Lilac Pearl. So this one again, beautiful shimmer. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that a lovely one? And lilac is something that we don't actually do many products in. Then we move on and we have got our bronze pearl. So we did copper last time. This one's a darker one. This one's our bronze one. And again, perfect going with the mushrooms, perfect for the vintage feels. Then the last 2, we have got smoky pearl, which is a beautiful gunmetal-y silvery pearlescence. You might see the shimmer actually on this one better than any of the others so far, because it's a little bit more of a darker shade. Oh, there we go. That might come through. There we have it on our screen here. Hopefully it's coming through for you on your screen too. But all of them are loaded full of mica to give you that beautiful shimmer. And then lastly, we've got Coral Pearl, which is a very, very soft, light pearl in a copper shade. Very, very beautiful. And those are your 6 brand new mica mists from Jamie Rogers Crafts that Françoise will be launching exclusively on Hobby Maker on Monday. And the recommended retail price for each of those is $4.99. And that is your overview of the 6 colours that are available within that set, in case it's easier for you to see them all laid out like so.
Angie was asking what times.
Françoise will be on at 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Monday. And if you're available to tune in a little earlier, at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, Françoise will be doing a Facebook Live, the Craft O'Clock, with Adam Humphreys. And I believe that takes part on the Hobby Maker Facebook page. We'll do our best to share it as well for you. But if you can, go and join in with that too. It'll be a lovely chance for you to have a very relaxed chat with Françoise and Adam about this collection, a little bit about Françoise, and have a look at a few samples too, I believe. So if you're around at 12, that's on Facebook, but actual live shows will be 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Monday. Okay, moving on. Now these are Laura's samples. So Laura has fallen in love with our new paper. As you can see, you're going to see lots of it being used throughout these samples, and that's why I've brought it back in this evening to share with you. The paper in question is our new linen texture paper. This launched officially with our stockists just yesterday, so Tuesday. It officially launched. I'll give you a list if anybody would like to know. Just yell and I'll tell you who's got it available. This is the way my post-it come from, so this should be $4.99, I believe, isn't it? I'm getting the nod from the left. £4.99 per pack, 10 sheets per pack, 130 GSM. Now, I know you've seen me chat about this quite a bit, but I thought it would be nice for you to have a little reminder of that when you see what you can be doing with it regarding stamping. When we were talking about it earlier this week, it was much to do about die cutting and embossing, and now actually starting to see it being stamped on. Oh my goodness, how beautiful is this? And I'm going to try and hold this still for you. Can you see how Laura has stamped and built up and coloured in on top of that texture here? Doesn't that look like a really expensive embellishment that we've gone and purchased? It looks like it's kind of some sort of patch or something similar to that. It looks very classy, and all we've really done is change the medium in which we are stamping onto to give you a completely different look. It is single-handedly, Laura and Siobhan's cards using this have made me go, oh my goodness, even more so do I need that in my life. Not only has she used it throughout the layers, she's even stamped the little postcard that ticks into or tucks in on the inside of the card, which I thought was really lovely and actually nice to show it to you stamped on and cut out without it actually having to be coloured, because you don't have to colour it if you don't want to. But doesn't that look rather yummy? I love that paper. Every time I talk about this paper, I use the word yummy. It's not a word I feel I've ever used in my life, but this paper just gives me the yummy feels. I don't know why.
We are about 75% of the stock gone now at HQ.
Of what?
Paper.
Well, I don't know about that, Peter.
So you need to...
What do you mean 75% gone?
Incredibly
I did
popular.
think it would be very popular. We did say that we predicted that it might be a bit of a problem.
It will return.
It will return, but it will be a long time till it returns. This is cool, isn't it? Sorry, we're waffling about paper. I didn't know that we was at that stage. That's quite a jump.
Popular.
That's bonkers. Okay. Well, I'll stop talking about it then, because I don't want people to miss out.
Keep it a secret.
I also don't want to part with it, if I'm being honest. If I keep talking about it, other people might purchase it and then I won't be allowed to use it because it'll be sold out, and I want to use it. I want to play with it. But I don't like teasing people with things that have gone. That's not fair. But it will be back. When will it be back? Did we work out? Was it January?
Yeah, around about then.
I don't know if I'm happy about this.
Jasmine says, what am I seeing on the shelf behind Jamie? Next to the Woodware logo in the picture frame. I think they're trying to spy little new bits.
There's nothing on there that's new today. I'll show you in a second, but nothing new. We'll just head through Laura's samples. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't this lovely? We'll have a look. And I love the way she's created this double frame effect and then put the paper in underneath it as well. Very, very cool. And this one, look at the stenciling done over that paper too. Beautiful stencil. Again, just stunning designs being brought together with stunning products to create amazing results with incredibly talented crafters. This is gorgeous. Look at the heat embossing done on top of that paper again, and how beautiful those butterflies look, done in the different colours. That's gorgeous, isn't it? And I really like the gold line that's been added in with a pen around the deboss line that the die is going to do for you as well. And then another one here by Laura, using the misters over the top here of the stamped dragonflies to create a really cool kind of kinetic energy vibe. And then the last one from Laura, this one's lovely too. This is using the misters over dark card and then using the roots stencil in the background as well, and using those silhouette style stamps. Doesn't that look great? So you'll see more of these on Monday, so if that was a bit quick, apologies, but I am conscious of time. And then we'll move on and I'll show you Siobhan's samples. So we've got to start with this from our dear Siobhan. Honestly, mind-bogglingly brilliant. So throughout this little booklet, Siobhan has used so many different elements being brought together to create the most stunning little booklet. Now again, we've got our mushrooms being brought in, we've got those textural stamps being brought in. This actually looks like punchinella once used in this sense, more than it looks like bubble wrap, I suppose, but kind of netting that kind of look. It could be so many different things for different occasions, this kind of net look, couldn't it? But when we go through this, you can see how incredibly creative this little booklet is. Now, whether you wanted to add in some little pockets to add some photos into, maybe you'd like to add photos onto some of the frames, whether you want to tell a story as you run through the booklet, it would work for all different styles of creativity. It could be a journal, it could be a storybook, it could be an album. it could be just like this, laid out with all of these beautiful mementos and keepsakes put throughout it. Even the little pocket here with these little tags in is just divine. And then Siobhan's embossed the background with a stencil and inked over it, and then made this little pocket and added on a couple of the stamps from the border set. And all of these done on, or not all of them actually, sorry, but these two done on some of the paper as well from the booklet. Doesn't that just make for the most beautiful little booklet that, again, if you're making to sell, doesn't that stand out? If you're going to make gifts for people this Christmas and you'd like to kind of make a little storybook or a little mini album or a little brag book, that's a wow. Then when we move on to this one, let's have a little look at this. This is another wow. Little magnetic clasp closing on the box. When we open this one up, and I love it when we do this. I do absolutely love it. And I also love this too. This is attention to detail. This is matching paper being placed in the bottom of the box. So even when that box is empty, or even when you take out the contents to work with them, quality and luxury shines through because everything's coordinating. Every part of that is going to work together to give you that beautiful finish that's going to coordinate into our next items. So within that little box, and again, talking luxury, talking coordination, we have got envelopes, and each of the envelopes has been decorated with little worker stamps to make beautiful additions to coordinate to the cards that are going to be coming up. Now, again, if we're making to sell, if we're making to gift give, it's coming to that time of the year, isn't it, where we start to think of what gifts can we be hand making to really show we care and love when it comes to Christmas. Or maybe, and this isn't necessary, but maybe pennies are a little bit tighter and we want to hand make a few gifts for the festive season. I don't know about you, but if I got this and I then could give out these cards throughout the next little while, I'd much prefer this to a box of After Eights. And I love my After Eights, but oh my goodness, would I be chuffed if I got this instead of that. And that to me is kind of how we could really make gifts this year and give the gift of giving to people who might not necessarily craft, or like me, is a crafter, but would actually really just be inspired and pleased to receive a gift like this that I can then hand out and know that I've passed on quality and beauty that has been created by somebody else. I think it's lovely. It's the gift of giving handmade that to me never falls short of being miraculous. Now, if we'd like some more card inspiration, these of course are done by Siobhan. And again, we've got some stenciling, we've got some stamping coming in. Siobhan has also stamped on that paper. Ooh, look at this. Yummy, yummy paper being stamped on and coloured. Oh, and then used as the layers too. That kind of gives like a cross-stitchy vibe to me, and I think that's a really cool vibe to have. This one again, beautiful. Spotlight technique kind of being used there on the three little windows with the mushrooms on. This is gorgeous. Again, when we talk of fabricy looks, autumnally expensive fabricy looks, how glorious does that look? Looks like I've popped into the Edinburgh woolen mill. Do you see where I'm coming from with that?
No.
I like it. I think it's gorgeous.
It's
it
nice.
gives expense, it gives luxury, and it's just such a lovely layout. And then you've got some enchanting sprinkles being used over black card once again, colouring in those beautifully detailed stamps. Then we've got white embossing being done over a coloured background with some stamping. Another one here with the silhouette stamps being used on just a strip of colouring instead. Then we've got, oh, I love this too, that lovely like cherry blossom-esque style leaves in my mind, coming in around what looks like the moon, and then wishing you a wonderful Christmas being used on this one. So again, taking it off onto a different story. Then we've got more mushrooms coming in this time with autumn birthdays are the best. This one's lovely. Look at the colouring on those. Don't they look yummy? That's the word of the evening tonight, yummy. You are without a doubt the very best fungi. Fungi. I thought we were sticking with it, Pete. Then we're going to move on to this one, and this is our last one from Siobhan. Incredible samples, genuinely. Thank you so much. Again, we've got some texture coming through with the stencil being embossed. We have got some clear embossing being put over the tile here to make it like triple embossing, so we've got real lovely glossy glaze effect there. And then we've got some stamping for our sentiments and of course our layers too. So that gives you inspiration from Christine, from Laura and from Siobhan. So thank you very much, DT. They are all incredible. Now my ones I'm going to go through very, very quickly because of mine are just quick ideas to share with you. But hopefully, as I said, very dark, very grungy, which is what I kind of aimed for with this collection, to show you a different style. And then on Monday, you'll have inspiration from, of course, the main lady herself, the star of the show, our dear Françoise. Now, I've created my little sliders using, of course, die that will be being featured on Monday's show. And I love creating these as kind of like little Polaroid style frames. And then throughout the stamp sets, there's lots of different like words that I've used to go around them, like they're little slides or little files of items. Then you've got one here with the leaves, and this is what I was on about, where Christine had done the A6 version, and I've kind of gone bigger with mine, bringing in the leaves and stamping them and then misting over the top. So hopefully you can see that beautiful bronze mist coming over the top of that. Oh. If you can't see that on your screen, then you possibly just wonder why I'm going, oh. But here that looks really, really pretty and really, really shimmery and shiny, which is exactly what you want from a mica mist. Then we've got some more leaves coming in down the edge of this one. And again, just paring it back, keeping it quite simple, going in with our Mericarta matte and layer. Another one here with some mist over the top of it, just to colour in and kind of give that tie-dye watermark effect. And then just set simply with some black and white card. And a larger card this time, again working with the Enchanted Sprinkles and with the misters, working on both together to colour these mushrooms. And these mushrooms are actually an extension of several of the pieces throughout the sets being built together to build up into a bigger area, which is again something fun we can do when we've got all of those different pieces. Now just bringing this one back again and bringing in the blue version. So again, same similar idea really of taking the leaves and kind of just bringing them down one side of the card, but trying to show you how this could be very much set out for different occasions and people and reasons, depending on the colours in which we choose to colour our leaves in with. Now you're going to start to see this coming in, that stamp that I keep saying I absolutely adore, that kind of sentimenty textural background, wordy background. I've used that around my layers, and then I've brought in the mushrooms on the front there. This one again is one of the larger ones I meant earlier when we was talking about the cards that Christine had done, and I spoke about using the butterflies to make up a bit of a larger background, because of course we can do that if we wish to. More mushrooms being brought in this time, and again you're going to see that stamp being used around the background. And I told you, this specimen stamp, you're going to see that sneaking in quite a few areas too, because it really is one I love. It kind of gives that I don't know, sciencey vibe. I love a bit of a sciencey vibe. Then we've got another one here using that cherry blossom style branch that I've coined it a cherry blossom. I don't know if I should, I don't know if it is, but to me it reminds me of cherry blossom. I've used it to go all the way around the edges and then used the misters over the top of those ones too. And then we've got another one here using the dragonflies in the middle of those panels, and then adding in again that stamped branch around the sides to give you that kind of look. And then I did this one and I didn't like it, but I'm going to share it with you because it's always about sharing what we do like and what we don't like. And we can't like everything we make, can we? But I didn't like this one, but I'm going to give it to you in case it plants a seed. So this one again, bringing in the branch and then adding on some butterflies, adding in some little numbers dotted throughout. And then I used our dotty glue and added some of our diamond white glitter over the tops in a few areas too, to add in a bit of sparkle. But I don't know why. And I know that Françoise is very good with her bright colours, and you've seen lots of that kind of throughout the samples too, especially from our dear Christine, when you bring in her lovely bright and colourful creations too. But I don't know why, when it was left to me on my own in my little room, I kind of went very dark and kind of greys and beiges and khakis and with my mushrooms and bits. I did attempt a few more colours here and there, but this is what I loved. To me, this was a collection that it doesn't matter your style, you're going to be able to make it work, because you're going to be able to take it off into different styles and different colours, whether you're a bright and colourful person or a little bit more sort of toned back. It's going to work. It's going to be what you wish to create with it. I really like the blues and the whites. That's a colour scheme I kind of like to work within, and I was really pleased with how that one came out. So it's just down to what colours and styles you like to work with, but I think this is going to work for you, whatever that may be. It's one of those collections that kind of ticks the box and takes you off in those directions, wherever that may be that you wish to head to. Do we have any questions, Peter, before we do some demos?
Just a lot of love for your samples.
Oh, that's very kind of you all.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have been very, very lucky that our DT are incredible. They do work their socks off, and I think you can see that. They've made some amazing creations, and it's such a joy, and especially this week when it's only a few days since we were kind of here sharing so many incredible samples with the Christmas collection, to now be able to bring you even more inspiration within such a short space of time. It genuinely is, because of the DT are just incredible. They really are incredible. We're very, very lucky. They work very, very hard for us to be able to bring you so much inspiration so fast. Okay, shall we play then? Shall I show you where we're going to begin? We're going to play with some mushrooms. We're going to make this card here. I felt it would be fun to, and again, this is me staying within where I was and what I wanted to create with this collection. So we're going to go for very greys, very grungy, which is actually something I really like to do, because we all speak about how challenging it can be to make men's cards. Well, to me, this is great. I could think of so many gentlemen that I could send this to. It doesn't have to be. We've seen it. We can go off in bright pinks and colours with it if we prefer. But actually, I think it could be really fun for gentlemen's cards. It could, of course, be that you're going to go for children's cards and you're going to take it off on that tangent instead. Be really bright and colourful. A mushroom is for everyone. They are words I never thought I would say, but I actually think are very true. I don't know why you're chuckling in the corner.
Mushroom is not a good one.
Well, can you think of somebody who would not appreciate a mushroom?
It makes me want mushrooms for dinner though.
You can't eat them, Peter.
Well, not those ones.
These are my mushrooms.
Mine's that lovely theme park we go to.
We go to, do we? That's a distant memory.
That is a distant memory. Maybe that's
And a touchy subject.
Suggestion.
Don't
You get them beautiful red, big red mushrooms with the little white dots or whatever on them, don't you? You could almost like stand underneath them.
You make me think more of the Disney mushroom with
Me
the...
personally. I would remind you of a Disney
You just have a
mushroom.
look of a Disney mushroom about you. No, Peter. Talking about theme parks and mushrooms, it reminds me of... Is it Alice in Wonderland?
Someone
Whereas
else
the guy...
said that. Who said that? Sharon said... Well, said the card that you had gives Alice in Wonderland vibes.
Am I thinking there's like a caterpillar that... I want to say, I feel like he smokes a pipe or blows bubbles or something. I'm sure he doesn't smoke a pipe. That doesn't sound very Disney friendly, does it? Or children friendly. But I'm sure he's got like a big gold, I want to say pipe, that he blows bubbles from or something.
Catherine says she hopes they're not magic mushrooms.
No, I don't know what the difference is actually. Am I going to sound really, really uneducated if I say I don't know what makes a mushroom magical and what isn't? Is it a type of mushroom, or is it how it's grown, or is it what we do with it? I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe this isn't a conversation we should be having.
Maybe we should move on.
Before we're SWAT busting the door. Okay, so we're going to start just colouring in. So I've used my black ink pads. These are alcohol marker friendly. That means that we can go in and we can colour over the top of them, and they're not going to argue. They're going to get on nicely, which is what we need, because of if you've used markers before with inks and they've had a bit of a battle and they've ended up bleeding and you end up with black ink going everywhere, that's because they're not friends. They don't like getting on, and they're going to kind of create a bit of bother for each other. Where with our inks, we don't have that problem. Our inks like alcohol inks, so they'll happily play alongside. And that's a good thing, because it means we don't get bleeding and we don't get wrong colours coming through. So we're just going to go in and we're going to add in some shading, or not even shading, we're not going to do shading. That'll make me sound like I know how to colour. We're just going to add in some colour. And we're going to go over that line in there as well, because I think I've done this a little bit darker than I necessarily would have. So, and we're going to try and do this as we go. We don't have to do all of it, because I'm sure we're well over time already, but it's been nice to show you the samples. I always think it's, tonight, to me, on a sneaky peek, we can make cards with you guys, and I know you love watching the demos, but actually when we can share all of that incredible talent with you from the DT, to me, and I might be wrong, so always tell us, because we'll kind of respond to your feedback. But if we can show you those instead and give you lots of inspiration in one quick hit, that really, to me, gets me my cogs going. And I think, well, actually, yeah, that's a collection I really need. Or maybe, equally, it's when I think, well, do you know what? I'm not so sure on that one. but it's kind of helped me make my mind up. So to me, a bit of sample overdose or overkill can be kind of handy, because it kind of tells me where I need to be, and if it's a show I want to watch, and if it's a collection I need, and all of them bits really. So I just add in some colour around these. Now you can spend a lot more time doing this. I always say I colour like a 2-year-old, and you're probably kind of seeing that in action. I'm not somebody who spends a lot of time on colouring. It is kind of a hope and dash kind of situation. I'm sure you all will have a similar pattern or plan, but I tend to do a little colour up here if I remember, to see that I'm not picking up a colour that's too dark, because of, and this is a cheap marker problem, I believe. I've never been treated to posh markers, so I don't know. But wow, from the corner.
Not yet, you haven't.
Wow. But the colours on the ends never look like the colours they come out in my mind. So I tend to just test them off to one edge if I remember. I don't always remember, but if I remember, I do. Especially with kind of blues and pinks and bits. The times I pick up a light pink and it turns out fluorescent and it looks like the colour of the magnets, and I think, well, that certainly wasn't what we was aiming for. So I do tend to do just a little bit off the edge. If I've already die cut what I'm going to, then I'll use the excess of the die cut. But as we haven't yet cut this out, I know that when we do, we're going to cut out that area and we don't need up that top bit. So I can use that then. I'm adding some more colour around here. So we've got a question this evening for them, haven't we, Peter?
We have.
What was the question? Because I haven't wrote it down. I've totally forgot it. Oh, that was naughty, wasn't it? I've put you on the spot now. Do you remember it? I should have checked in that you remember the question before I said that. Oh, I do remember it. Don't panic if you don't. I remember.
Do with your...
I remember. Don't, if you can't remember it, don't worry.
I'm gonna guess, but no.
That's all right. I remembered. I've remembered. I didn't write out a card for this evening. I thought we'd wing it, you know. It's been so successful of late. We don't need a card to keep me on track. We'll just go off on a tangent and hope for the best.
Françoise says she knows what I need to buy you for Christmas.
No, I could give you a list.
Well, that's what I was fearing.
Could give you a list. But yeah, I do need some
had
posh
some
markers.
new pens. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Would be nice. Okay, so I think we're as good as done. And this, you know, it's up to you how much time and style and colour and themes and all of that lot that you want to put in. But I just like you to see it can be quite quick and it can be quite easy. And even if, like me, you don't count yourself as the best colourist, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I know that's something we don't always like to hear or admit or kind of resonate with, but it doesn't have to be, because we're going to kind of do some other bits to it anyway. So let's pick the right size. Oh, that's too big. I thought that looked too big. Let's find the right size. Let's bring that size in. That's better. So we're going to bring this on in. I think it's about the third size down in the set. And because we've stamped already, we are going to anchor that down in the hope it doesn't move too much, because we do want to keep our mushrooms somewhere where they need to be. And then we'll stick this in our plate and we'll send it through the machine. And then we will find our stencil. So for this card, and the next one actually, we're going to be using the root stencil, because I love this. I like the other one, I do, but I think this is a good over the top of stamping one. So now that's gone through, we can pop out our panel. This is that debossed line that I mentioned when we talk about this die set. Hopefully you can see that okay. But it really does deboss that line beautifully. So you get this really nice sort of elegant finish to the edge of that die cut every time it goes through. So there's no fear. I've literally just thrown my masking tape at Peter. That wasn't intentional, I'm very sorry. Got caught on the end of my plate and it's gone. It does also do that around the piece that's left too. So hopefully you can see that. So if, for instance, and we didn't plan ahead to do this, but if you was thinking that you was going to make an aperture card and you would like that around the edge of your window, then you're going to have that beautiful deboss effect around there too. And of course we could have done that in a smaller size and then popped that back in there, or suspended that, and you could have spinning mushrooms in the window instead if you prefer. We'll take that part out of the way for the second, and we will bring back in our root. And we'll place that down, and we're going to bring back in the black ink, and we're going to bring in a blending brush. And we're going to go over the top of this. I'm going to work on another mat actually, so I don't have to clean up, because of, you don't want to watch me clean things. So we'll bring in a blending mat. And we're just going to hold this down, and we're going to go over the top with our black ink. So again, using the Black Panther ink with a blending brush to just add in some texture over the top of this stamped die cut panel. I never asked my question, did I? So I asked if we had a question, but I never actually asked what the question was. I told you, did I? Honestly, it's all going wrong. This is why I have to write things down. I'm lethal. So earlier this week on the Woodware Facebook page, I shared an A4 stamped background that I had created with one of Françoise's amazing stamps. I absolutely love that stamp, and I know I say that a lot, but I am genuinely rather in love with the Woodware collection. It's an incredible set, and this is one of the original stamps I've used. Now I would like to be a little bit challenging and tell you I'd like to know the name of the stamp, but I did think that was potentially slightly unfair, because that's another level of knowing this stuff or finding this stuff, and it might be a bit of a panicky thing. So what I'll settle for is, what was the stamp of? What's the main focal of the stamp that I used to stamp my A4 panel with? If you know the name, then oh my goodness, brownie points. But I don't expect you to know the name. But I would like to know, what was it of? And this is truthfully just a shameless plug here to tell you about the Woodware page, because if you haven't already, please come and follow us on the Woodware page. There isn't many people on our Woodware page currently, and I'd like to see lots more of you over there, because it is all about sharing with you what's going on, what's coming up, show times, all of the bits that you need to know about Team Woodware and brand Woodware. We share new inspiration. I'm aiming for, and I have fell behind this week. This week hasn't been a good week. Nothing's gone to plan. But I am aiming for a post from myself every day at 9 AM to give you some inspiration. And then Françoise, of course, posts on there. And so does Siobhan and Laura and Christine. And you get lots and lots of inspiration from all of us every day, sharing with you what we've been up to with Woodware stamps. And it's kind of a nice focused in page full of inspiration. So if you haven't already found it, just pop into the search bar on Facebook, Woodware. You will see the logo, and you can pop on over and join us on that page, because we would love to have you with us. Okay, now that stamp that I keep going on about, let's see if we can find that. Where have I hid that? That's this one, isn't it? Let's bring these in. Now my camera's gone really blurry. Is it really blurry on your screen too, Peter, or is it just on mine?
Yes, it is. I think it just needs to focus. Can you take it up?
Come back to me, camera, come back.
That'll correct.
It will correct. Oh, we can see my hands, all right. Oh, I've got dirty hands. Come on. Wakey, wakey. Come on. Yeah, there we are. It gets there in the end. It has its moments. It's like all of us. So we're going to go into this set of stamps. Is this my one? This doesn't look like my one. That looks far too clean for my one. Where's my one? Is that the new one? I've lost my one, Peter. I've used my one. Where's mine? Where have I hid mine off to? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to have another one. I'm collecting them. Okay, don't worry. I'll have this one too. I'm not picky. I know it's not my one. Oh, it might be my one. There might be ink on it. Maybe I'm tidier than I thought I am. That rarely happens. Rarely happens. Okay, is it going to fit on this one? It might fit on this one. See, this is silly, isn't it? But because I haven't got any stamping blocks in here, we're going to use a rule, because we can do that and we can be messy, which is something I often do. So we're going to find actually what size panel would we like for this. We want a big one, so we're going to go for that size, I feel. And we're going to send this through the machine to cut out a backing plate to go behind it. And we're going to place on top our mat and we'll send that one through. Has anybody guessed the correct theme or stamp? Did you say no?
No, maybe. A few of them have.
Did you just say no maybe?
I did.
What does no maybe
No
mean?
maybe.
No maybe. Yes maybe, no maybe? Surely it's either a yes or a no.
Definitely a yes.
Definitely a yes.
Yeah.
Definitely a yes now. Was it that on the cusp?
Not really.
It's hard work with you today.
It is.
So all we're going to do is we're going to pick our stamp. We're just going to go off on tangents. If I'd remember to bring in a clear block, it would have been nice because I could see what I was doing. But I'm going to be truthful with you. I usually use a rule for this because I just find a rule is easy to hold and do. I need some small stamping blocks, really. And I'm not worried about this, as I'm sure you can guess, as I stamp upside down with a steel rule instead of a block and can't actually see what I'm doing. I'm really not worried about this being perfect. This is just a quick win of a background, and it's more showing you how a small element can be used to make a background. It doesn't always have to be a big background stamp. Background stamps are great, we love background stamps, but sometimes it can actually be quite rewarding to take a small element like this one and turn this into your background. It's also a bit of a penny saver because we haven't had to purchase just one background stamp. We've been able to do this from this set, which has got 4 different versions of this in there for you, and this could have been done with any of those 4 to of course create different results. I was out the other day. I wasn't out actually, was I? But we'd got a visitor and I couldn't find a stamp block then, so I used my phone, and the visitor virtually fell off their chair, didn't they? As I was using an iPhone to do my stamping with, and that worked just as well, I'll have you know. It's not a very cheap stamp block and I wouldn't recommend it, and it probably didn't do the phone any favours, but it did get me the allowance to be able to test the new stamp that I was trying to test very quickly. So sometimes you have to take the wins where the wins occur. Okay, where did we hide our stamp brush? There we go. So now we've gone all the way around there with our stamping. We're going to bring in some ink. And again, we're sticking to the same colour ink, and we're just going to really heavily go around the edges of these. So we tone that in and tone that down. And this is why I weren't too worried about if I didn't get a perfect stamp or if it wasn't level or even or anything else, because it doesn't overly matter. We're going to add to the top of this. We're going to go all the way around the sides. Now, I don't know about you, but I really like this as a background because I felt it kind of ticked the boxes, matched in with all of the elements that are coming up on the card, and gave me kind of a lovely effect. I actually kind of like it as well if the cream or the coconut kind of shines through in the middle, because it gives me a different way in which we could be taking this off and working with it if we prefer. So here is one I done earlier, just for speed, but gives you kind of the same vibes. Proper coconut white being used on this one. This one I forgot to bring in coconut white, so I'm using ivory. But either or doesn't make too much of a difference, just the coconut white slightly lighter, slightly warmer actually in a sense than the cream in my mind, but up to you where you head with that one. Then we're going to go on to our card then. So already I've cheated and I've gone ahead and I've put some black card and some cream card, and we're then going to bring in a piece of coconut white to layer on the top of this as well. Just to tone in with any coconut white that is shining through in the upcoming layers. Now, we can then bring in our panel that we've created. And we'll take off our tape from around the edges of this one too. And we'll check that we're on the right side opening for the card. And we'll place that down in the centre-ish. We can then go to our little panel that we created. Now this one's slightly different colours to the one I was doing earlier with you. So again, just playing around with the colour of card, building up slightly different colours of pens, slightly darker with our blending on this one and on this one. So again, just seeing how we kind of want to go with it. But I like this one and I've already got tape on this, so we're going to stick to this one. In your set of die sets, these lovely clipped corner rectangles, there is a small one in the middle. This very cute little small one, and I've taken one of those and I have stamped on it autumn birthdays are the best days, and I've scored it on a scoreboard to make a little 5mm tunnel running down the side of it. And we're going to take this off, if I can keep hold of it, and take our foam tape off the top of it. And we're going to bring this in and we're going to add this over the edge like a little file. And then we're going to wrap that part round and we're going to attach that to the reverse of the card. Just so we've got this little boxed file panel piece to one side of it. Now we could build that up, we could leave that flapping if we prefer, but that's how I kind of wanted to take mine. Then on the top corner here, we've gone for a slightly different one to what was on the original card. This time I've gone for the word specimen and I've added the number 317 as if my little file has gone up that high of all of my different mushroom versions and styles and attempts. And we're going to bring this one in and we're going to wrap that just around the edge. I'm not going to box file with this one because I wanted them to look different. So we're just going to fold it and we're going to bring that in and we're going to place that on, maybe a bit lower, maybe around there. And then we're going to lift that and again place that round to the back of the card. Anchor it down with a foam tape. And then we can lift this part up and we can attach that onto our card. And that gives you the completed version of the card we're aiming for this evening. Slightly different mushrooms been used on the one we've just made to the one we started off with. And this is what I love about having all of these different options of mushrooms and scenes that we can build up and create with. Now, all of those big focal mushrooms are coming to you in the same set. So whether you go for this trio that are all together, whether you go for the more, I'm going to call it the more hippie mushroom after seeing Christine's incredible card with that all coloured in the different colours, or whether you go for these ones down here, which you've got kind of a set of 3, a set of 2 and a single. And that's great because it means we can then build those up in all different sort of manners and styles with the rest of them as well to make up some really fun and interesting pieces. And don't forget you've also got another little one up here as well that could actually be brought in and cut and layered or built up on the scene, or maybe do a matching border or something similar with if you prefer. So that gives you a little overview on our first card. Do we have any questions about card number 1, Peter?
No, just a few comments that only you could use an iPhone as a stamping block.
I know, I'm really, it wasn't a proud moment. It wasn't something I would tell to the world like, this is something you should do. Probably not wise at all. But I was pleased with the results. It could be like the world's most expensive stamp block, and it's not a posh phone, it's just stamp blocks aren't expensive. But yeah, not something I'm going to recommend anyone should be doing anytime soon. But it did do the job. And sometimes when in need, we just have to find a way. If there's a will, there's a way. And there was a way. So we had a will. Okay, so on to card number 2. Should we play with this one next? This could be a fun one. So this one's going to go off on a slightly different tangent. Kind of aiming for the same game, really. And we are, of course, going to be playing with our brand new Roots stencil. I am a little bit taken by this, I can't lie to you. One of many items I'm taken with, but it is a fun one. So let's bring in some mushrooms once again. Bring in the mushrooms, Peter. Let's find some cards, shall we?
Visions of a trolley wheeling in now, full of mushrooms.
Bring in the mushrooms. And we will change up the mushroom we are playing with. So should we go for this little trio of 3? Because that's a fun little trio. Fun little trio of fun guys. I feel there was some judgment from the corner then.
I'm trying to work out which one I can press.
Oh, I forget you've got the sound box tonight. You've been very... All right, Simon Cowell. You've been very well behaved with that tonight.
I have. I dropped it.
Did you forget that you'd got it?
I did. I dropped it earlier in visions of it going on the floor and random sound effect going on.
There are some Rudy ones on there.
Are there?
Well, yeah, but I'm not... Why do I tell you these things?
This one, you mean?
No, not this one, you mean. You behave.
I blame Kim.
I blame Kim.
Where is Kim?
Where is Kim? Is that just a general shout out?
Yeah.
Where is Kim?
Where's me
What
Kim?
have we done with her? She might be out.
Down the pub.
She could be down the pub.
Could be down the pub.
Pardon?
She could be down the pub.
She could be down the pub. Okay, so not only are we going to add in our mushrooms this time, we're going to bring in some of the other elements. So we're going to bring in that cool little number. which this one is going to say 317, and we're going to put that, let's go for that being the right way, and then we're going to bring in our word specimen, because I am a bit taken by that. I think that's a rather cool one. We're going to place that going down the side of the mushrooms, and then we're going to bring in another set of numbers. We're going to add in number 24 just above here, and again this shows how we can build up our scenes to as small or as large as we want them to be. So we'll ink these ones up once again with our black ink.
Jasmine, press it, press it.
He doesn't need any encouragement, I
Very
assure
bad, Jasmine,
you.
leading me astray.
He does not need encouragement.
But I have to give what the people ask for.
No, you don't have to give what the people ask for. Just no, Peter. Behave.
Anyway, Christine says, just to get back on track, she
Good
loves
idea. Thank you, Christine.
how versatile a Françoise collection is.
Oh, they're amazing, aren't they?
I do agree.
You can't help but be in awe. How she thinks of these and creates them, I don't know. She's amazing. She genuinely is amazing. We're so lucky to have her in our little world. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to bring it in our stencil, and we're going to, I know you would colour this first, by the way, but you don't want to watch me colour another set, do you? Because that's probably kind of boring, but you'd colour it. So we're going to anchor this down with just a bit of low tack tape, and we're going to go for the areas that we're going to be cutting away because we don't need those pieces. So we're going to take that and we're going to send this through our die cutting machine once again, but this time we're going to do it with a rubber mat. And the rubber mat is going to emboss this for us. So we're going to bring in our plate, we're going to place our stencil on. So our stencil's there first, then our card. Then we're going to bring in our rubber tan mat, depending on what you know it as, but most machines nowadays come with your mat. If it hasn't come with your mat, then check your instructions. You can usually purchase them separately. And we're going to send this through the machine. Now that mat is going to push down on the card, and it's going to push the card into the apertures on the stencil, and it is going to emboss it for us. So we end up with a texture on there as well as what you'd normally be using a stencil for, which is going to be inking. I'm going to do a little bit of that in a second, but this will amplify that texture and give us a different look, which is something we really love to do with them, because it kind of means not only do we have a stencil, we also have an embossing folder. So we're kind of getting two effects out of one product, which gives us even more better value for money for our product. Now, if I take this away, on the reverse here, we can see just how incredible the depth of that roots stencil is. This is a really prominent debossing. Now, debossing doesn't tend to be as prominent as the embossing because of obviously the way the card is done. It's just, this is the more wowy side. This is the side that's been pushed, so that's the one that's going to be more impressive. So when we look at the back and we see that level of embossing, we know the front's going to be even more wow. But this is really cool because it shows us different ways in which we can be using this. So maybe we would like to stick to the reverse of these and work with them. And actually what we can do is, just to show you the level of debossing that we have here, we could actually go over the top and highlight that part alone if we wanted. And that's kind of where we're at with that level, that depth that we've got. Even in them big open areas, we're still perfect to be able to do that with. On this side, what we're going to do is we're going to bring back in our blending brush, and we're not going to go too heavy with this, but we are going to go over the top here. And we are going to make sure that we're going all the way around these edges, and this will come clear in a second, but we want to go all the way off around these edges to make sure that we get a little bit of our black blending coming around across that tab, and then we're going to go over the top of the rest of it. Now don't forget, I would have coloured mine first normally. You can colour it afterwards. When I did my one for my kit earlier that we're going to be working with, I forgot to colour it first. I was too busy chatting and I did all of this and then was like, well, I've just embossed it now and I haven't coloured it. So I went over and coloured it, and it can absolutely be done. It's just a little bit more tricky because you're going over embossed cardstock, so it's got a bit more of a texture to it, but it's not the end of the world. And then we're just going to carry on and we're going to really amplify this top part and down the side, because they're the two sides that we're going to be keeping, and then across this bottom bit as well to make sure that our mushrooms have got a little bit of colour on them. And then we can take away our stencil. Now this wasn't designed as such, this wasn't intended, but when I did this I was like, oh, I like that. Sticking with this whole kind of filed specimen-y style, because of our stencils have our little tab on them that tell you what brand they're under. So this one has etched into it Woodware, I don't know if you'll see that, but it says Woodware. And then our Jamie Rogers Crafts ones has Jamie Rogers Crafts, and our Creative Expression ones have Creative Expressions, so on and so forth. It tells you where you got it from and what it is, so if you want to come back to it, you know where it is and where it comes from. It's created a little tab top, like a little file, and I was obsessed by this. I thought this was proper cool, because then now it means I can come in and I can add a stamp into there, and it looks even more like I've got a little folder with all of my fungi in. So we're going to bring in a couple of little stamps, and we're going to add them to that little tab up there. I might have to do this on my stamp block. I don't know where I've put my stamp block. I've lost it.
Just use your phone.
Just use my phone. I haven't got my phone. It's possibly safest I don't have my phone in me. I like the way that you give judgment to this. I bet you've used something silly for something silly before without even thinking about it.
Improvised, didn't you?
I could have used my phone as a hammer. That would have been more silly. You know. And I bet there's people who have.
Jasmine says she just wants to draw a busy little colony of ants going through that deboss line.
Oh, that'd be cool. But you could.
You could.
Why not? You could draw an ant. That would be quite fun, actually, wouldn't it? To add little ants in it. I like that idea, Jasmine. That's a brilliant idea. So there we have our little tab created with our numbers on there. So then all I would do is I would just trim this out. And of course, as I said, I would have coloured mine first, but it would give me this kind of look, this kind of tabbed look to my fungi example. With my mushrooms down here ready, I can then colour those in or have those coloured to coordinate where I'm going to go next. This time I thought it would be kind of fun to go a bit more pinky and bluey than I did on the original. So a bit more pinky, yellow, tealy instead of where before I just did tealy and bluey. And then we're going to bring in this panel and we're going to add this one on as well. Did we get many entries, or at least a couple for you to choose from for the competition to win the cards we've made this evening?
We did.
Oh,
Popped them into my little random generator.
Good, 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 good. If you did miss the question, you have a minute or so to continue in with your entries. I would like to know, on the post I shared on the Woodware page earlier this week, what was the theme of the stamp that was used to make the A4 background panel I held up? Okay, then onto the front here. So I've just cut a matching size rectangle from black card, and then we're going to bring in again one of our smaller pieces from that dice set, and I'm going to add that on. And again, we've got the word flutter added down the side here, and matching butterfly. On the original one, I cut it out. I don't know why I cut it out, because when I looked at it, I was like, well, I've stuck it down to the flat. I don't know why I've cut it out. And if I did cut it out, why did I not stamp one underneath so I had the antennae? So instead, this time around, I thought, well, I'll leave the other one as it is, but I will stamp this one and I won't cut it out. Instead, I will have it so I've got the beautiful antennae there instead. But it does give you an idea on how you could play around with the colours, the layouts, and of course, the wording, which goes on the little tab top for the folder, to hopefully give you a bit of an idea on that one as well. So there is just a couple of examples that I wanted to share with you this evening. Of course, come Monday, you're going to have 2 hours of inspiration with Françoise herself, the designer, the creator, the genius mind behind this collection. So if you are available on Monday, or of course you can watch on catch up, she will be with you live on Hobbymaker at 3 PM and 8 PM, taking you through this complete collection and sharing with you all of her ideas and thoughts behind it. Now, I will be honest, I have seen the samples. If you've liked what I've shown you tonight, you will be blown out of the water come Monday. Nobody ever deals with a collection as well as the designer does, because if it's their baby, it's their mind, it's everything they wanted it to be, and they know where it's going from the minute they put pen to paper and start designing it. And this is certainly true with this collection too. So if you can make the shows or catch up with them afterwards, I have a feeling you're going to really enjoy the inspiration that Françoise shares with you. Of course, she is also with you at midday on the Hobbymaker Facebook page too for a craft o'clock. Now, if you've never tuned into one of the craft o'clocks, Adam is hilarious and it is just a joy to watch and join in with. But B, gives you a bit of an insight into the guest. I've done one, Gwen's recently done one, and now it's the turn of Françoise. And it is a great little glimpse into their crafting history, who they are as a crafter, and of course, whatever collection and items they're bringing to you on that day's show. So if you can make that event too, that would, I'm sure, be entertaining and a joy to watch. I'm really looking forward to watching it, and I have a feeling that there'll be lots of us there to kind of wish Françoise luck and check in and see what she's up to on that day and see a bit of a sneaky of some of the cards that she'll be sharing with you as her demos on the shows too. So don't forget, that'll be 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Monday on Hobbymaker for this collection. And I am back with you, I believe, on Tuesday, am I not, Peter? I am, according to my little card from Monday. I will be back on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. with some more inspiration for you. Now, it won't be much to do with this collection because of all of the samples and all of the goodies will, of course, still be with Françoise and at the studios and heading back to me. So I won't be able to share much with you, but we might have a little play. We might do something mushroomy, or it could be something else fun that we'll have a little chat about. I have no idea. That can be Tuesday's mission to work out. But Tuesday, I will be here at 7 p.m. On Thursday, so tomorrow now, isn't it? Keeping up with our days. Nearly impressed myself, then I knew where it was. Tomorrow, Gwen will be with you at 7 p.m. and Gwen will be bringing you brand new inspiration with the Cog collection from Jamie Rogers Crafts. So if you've never seen that, if you've missed it when it come out, it's an incredible collection of really Cog and kind of steampunky and mechanical items that all work together really, really well. It's a great collection, if I do say so myself, and I have a feeling again you're going to really enjoy that. We all love Gwen's lives, don't we? She's a joy to watch and full of inspiration and ideas. So if you can, that'll be right back here on the Creative Expressions page tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. The last thing I'm going to let you know about, actually, before I let you go this evening, is our upcoming demo day. I know it's time for another one, and this time we are counting down the days till we send Gwen out on her little travels again. If we ever make it big enough, when we talk about these, I'd like a little video to appear on screen of Gwen bobbling along in a car with a suitcase or like a die cutting machine.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but whenever I talk about sending her out on the road, it's that kind of vibe I get. I don't know why. But she's hitting the road and she is heading out to a stockist in Kettering. She is heading to Glitter Bits Crafts on Saturday the 1st of November. I say Kettering. Are they actually in Kettering or in the vicinity of Kettering? You know what I'm like with directions and places. I tried to convince everybody the other day. Gwen was in London. It turns out she was about an hour and a half from London. So I'm not good with geography. At least that's what Nigel said. So I don't know if he was right or wrong or wherever. But anyway, this time I'm sure it's Kettering adjacent or near or there. I don't know. Glitter Bits Crafts. Saturday the 1st of November. If there hasn't already been an event posted, I know Tracy will, I'm sure, be posting one very soon and you'll be able to see more details about it. But just as a little heads up to you all, on Saturday the 1st of November, Gwen will be at Glitter Bits Crafts from 10 till 4 and she will be taking with her this mushroom collection as well as a collection we can't talk about. Am I right?
Correct.
Thought so. Okay, so 2 collections, one of them being these beautiful mushrooms from Woodware. I also think there's a 3rd collection, but that's Christmas and that's Sue's.
It is, yeah.
Is that correct? Mm-hmm. So 3 collections. Yeah. 2 I can talk about, 1 we may not.
And they are in Maudsley, which is a little village. Not far from Kettering.
Maudsley. Giving me Downton Abbey, Moseley vibes. Moseley.
Mr. Moseley.
Mr. Moseley.
Time we went, I think.
It is time we went. So how far from Kettering are they? Have we worked that
my
bit
goodness,
out?
he's very demanding tonight.
You are like...
Oh, Tom.
Tom. You can be Pete in the corner. Okay, let's leave them in, please. Okay, so don't forget your collection, or this collection, the brand new Woodware collection, will be available on Monday's shows. I seem to have dispersed it all across my counter, but I'm going to attempt to bring it back to you so you can see it, just in case. If you have any questions whilst Peter is picking his winner, please let us know. If you do not have any questions, we will leave you in peace for the evening, and Gwen will be back with you tomorrow evening. I will be back with you on Tuesday evening. Françoise will be with you on Monday for 3 different activities. So all in all, you have got a lot of stuff coming your way from our little team to hopefully keep you very, very, very inspired. I also know that Emma has some videos that she'll be sharing with you too. So there is no excuse than to be inspired and crafting away. I've lost my stencils, but you've seen the root one already, haven't you? And there is, of course, the lovely leaves as well. Oh, and don't forget the misters. Oh, the misters.
Mrs. Doubtfire, did they come out again then?
Not Mrs. Doubtfire, we had enough of her on Monday. So there is 6 misters as well from the Jamie Rogers Crafts brand that will also be exclusively launching on Monday. Do you have a winner for me?
I do.
Let's come over to you then.
Oh, pressure's on. Thank you all for joining the madness tonight. And thank you for your entries. I don't know the actual answer of the stamp.
The actual answer.
It's butterflies, isn't it?
Butterflies is a safe
name of the
answer. We will
stamp?
take that. The actual stamp
Make it work.
is 3 butterflies.
3 butterflies. So, anyway, thank you all for joining in our mad competition. The winner this evening is... Congratulations goes to Kathleen Adam. Well done, Kathleen. I want to know where that button is.
We don't normally clap, we just want to
don't.
help you.
If you'd like to drop us an email, jamierogerscrafts@hotmail.com, and let us know if you want your card
signed.
Yes, I think we're giving cards.
We are.
It's time we went. Yes. And
You
we'll
have
get those
one
sent
job.
out. I know,
One job.
I think it's
One
because
job.
I look at him and then I just like lose my train of thought.
I have to put up with you
Anyway.
all night.
We'll see you again. Don't forget Gwen's live tomorrow night, 7 p.m.
Now you're trying to steal my job. You didn't do yours very well, and now you're
I'm
after
going to try and
mine.
make up for it. So yeah, join the lovely Gwen tomorrow evening. Quick.
This is... Oh! I don't know what of it.
Oh, we're there still.
Are we still
I think
here?
we're back.
Oh, good. I hit a wrong button and it all went wrong. This is the stamp and the panel in question that we was talking about, just in case you didn't pop over to the Woodware page and you haven't yet seen it. This is the 3 butterflies stamp. This is one of the original stamps that's come back in stock. And on the post, I was talking to you about how beautifully this is to stamp into bigger backgrounds and how effective it is. This, of course, is one that's available from the stockists already. And here is a little sneaky peek of a little tag that I've created today using this stamp set. It's a beautiful one, and over the top, and I'm going to see if we can get this, because I've used the bronze mica mist over the top and just a little mist to give it a beautiful sparkle and shimmer, just showing how the old and the new all come together and work together beautifully. But that, of course, is that stamp. So well done, Kathleen. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us. It genuinely is a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you. And don't forget, Gwen tomorrow night, Françoise on Monday on the Craft O'Clock at 12, shows at 3 and 8, and then I'll be back with you on Tuesday at 7 p.m. From me, good night.
And from me, good night.
Night all.
See you soon. Good night.